Chinonye, I want to start with you. How has this journey been for you? You went straight from clemency to Till, and both
fares,
light fare, light, light afternoon watching. No, it's like these films. They're they're focused movies that tackle very specific issues that also resonate profoundly today.
Yeah.
You jumped from clemency to Till. How was that for you, and kind of how did you get into a mindset to prepare you to go on this journey with these fine people?
Well, thankfully, I was with these fine people to help with the journey. I was reluctant. When the producers reached out to me, it was a month or two after my last film, Clemency, premiered at Sundance, and I just was not emotionally ready. Not only because of the subject matter of clemency, but I had dedicated 5.5 years of my life, committed my life, relocated, everything, taught in prisons, just really focused on that. And that was draining. And also my life really changed after clemency. And so I was also trying to process that. And so I took time before responding to Barbara Broccoli, who is another producer on the film. And that first, Barbara has a persistent way about her. And she was persistent, and all the producers, I met with all of them in New York. Yeah, in New York. And they asked me if I can share what would my point of view would be, what vision I had for it. And they were just so committed to my artistic view and my artistic ability that they told me they'll give me the space for creative autonomy, and as an artist, that was just really incredible. But it took me about 1.5 years before I was really fully ready to dive into the making of the film. Before that, I'd started doing research and catching up on a lot of the research that Keith had done, and went to Mississippi a few times. But the emotional recalibration was therapy, meditation. It was just lightness, so just hanging out with my sister friends, drinking wine, yes. Crying as well, and not out of sadness, but just release, and really questioning within myself, am I ready to do this? And to be honest, like me getting the space to be able to make this film, tell this story so solely focused on Mamie's perspective and the love that was between her and Emmett, and to be able to balance the film with moments of joy and community and love really helped in the making of the film. It helped alleviate some of the emotional tension I was feeling within myself.
And Keith, your story goes even further back with this relationship with this film. And a lot of research came from your documentary, The Untold Story of Emmett Lewis Till. So when that, from the beginnings of this to now, from the seed that was planted to now, how have you seen this project evolve?
Well, this project evolved tremendously. Wow. It's taken me 29 years to get here. This is something that Emmett Till's mother, my mentor for 8.5 years, wanted to see done. And so early on in my life, I was introduced to Emmett Till at the age of 10. And so it was when I saw that photograph in Jet magazine. I was in my parents' study, and I discovered the photograph. And that story became a cautionary tale for me for my entire teenage year. But it wasn't until I actually had my own major run-in with racism, and that was when I was assaulted by an undercover police officer for dancing with a white classmate of mine, where my journey actually began, and fighting the injustice that we see in our everyday lives. And so the impetus for me in this journey came from Mother Mobley herself. It was her inspiration that she instilled in me at an early age that actually brought me on this journey to continue to uphold her legacy as well as to continue to fight for justice for Emmett Till himself. And so the project that we've just produced was, in 67 years, no one has been able to make this film. Mother Mobley herself had 2 film deals in 1955 and 56, but no one would touch the story. And so it's truly remarkable to be here this evening, knowing that we were able to achieve what many could not, which is to finally tell this story to the masses.
Yes. Yes. So to our 2 heroes in the center, Danielle and Jalyn.
Yes.
As the 2 characters front and center in this movie, I'm sure, how did you even begin to? I wouldn't even imagine how you begin to approach this, but also, how did you mindfully take care of this narrative and also take care of each other, and at the same time creating this like mother-son bond? Like, I feel like it's a lot.
That's like 4, 5 questions in one.
I know
What is wrong with you?
It's a 4-part
That is
question.
more of a weight.
And it's also like after 9 o'clock, so it's a little.
It's after 9. Let's take this slow.
Yeah, let's take it
Shall
slow.
we?
Shall we?
You or me?
Which question are we starting with?
Let's dive into how did we begin to prepare?
The accents.
Yeah. It's
on,
after 9.
Bridgerton.
We already said. Oh, goodness. I mean, it's a community effort, right, for me from the beginning. Working with Chinonye has been the most focused, rigorous, hyper-disciplined effort that I've ever done. She was right with me at every step. We established that when we did the director session. I work with people who I trust and who I feel I can be led by and walk beside, and that's what she did for me, for everybody, for the cast and the crew. I started with the book. With Death of Innocence, written by Mamie, with Christopher Benson. And I utilized that as a Bible because it is her words. It describes so many of the scenes that we witness in the film. And then we had a wealth of archival footage and archival photos of Chicago, 1955, of Mississippi, 1955, of Sumner, of Mound Bayou, of every historical figure in the film. And just digging into every crevice of the script. How do you prepare therapeutically or like care-wise?
Yes, like how did you? Because I'm guessing y'all were together a lot, and how did you just create that bond and learn to trust? Yeah.
See, it doesn't begin with me. It begins with Jalyn.
Okay, yeah.
And I would do. You want me to do it? Here, I'll do it because I'd be doing it. Jalyn's audition Kim test with me was lovely. I taught him to sing, to get the rhythm of He Beeped When He Should Have Bobbed by Dizzy Gillespie. And then towards the end of that session, Jalyn says, Miss Danielle, I just want to tell you, I think you have a beautiful smile. And I said, who he talking to? Like who has that kind of that young man with that kind of courage, that kind of style and charisma and joy, and we just laugh. It's always been that with me and him, and that was reflective of Emmett, that kind of joy, that inherent joy, and I just take care of him and love him in that way,
You want to add? How has the experience been for you, Jalyn?
Yeah. The experience for me has it's been amazing. With having such heavy material, it's important to have a support group of people who can uplift you while simultaneously uplifting them. And going into this, it's my mom. My mom is my therapist.
Who's here? His mom
Who
is
is
here.
where you at, Mama?
Come on, Mom.
Right over there.
Get him, Ema.
So it was getting in that mindset and her as well, because her having to view her son this way, knowing that I'm gonna be okay, but it's a mother feels differently. so it was us communicating and making sure we're both ready for this. And when we got into it, you know, my mom, she'll let you know straight off the bat how she feel about somebody, right? And she let me know, and she knew herself just how greatly that she felt about Danielle, and knew that I was in very good hands while filming. So we didn't actually spend a lot of time together before filming.
Oh, wow.
But that brought us closer because every day the bond just grew, and it has been growing, you know, since then. So yeah.
If I might also add, the day he learned they got the part, like, okay, so you can chime in. The day he got the part, it was a meeting, and they didn't realize that. They didn't know, right? And so we get in
I had
the
the
room.
script in hand.
He was ready to do. He was ready to do audition again, right?
He's ready.
And so it's myself, Chinonye, Jalyn, his mother Ema, and Barbara Broccoli, and we're sitting in this big table, and we're talking, and then at one moment he goes, "Y'all talking to me like I got it."
Yeah.
And then Chinonye goes, "You want me to do my rendition?" He goes, "Oh, Jalyn, would you like to be our Emmett?"
Oh, that's a great impression.
And I told you. And Jalyn just jumps up. His mother's crying, and he kind of, did you cry? Did you get emotional? Nonetheless, he came around the table. He picks me up. He spins me around, and like he's playing the music, and you know, it just. Did you get weepy? Barbara got weepy. I got weepy. It was just a beautiful moment to feel that for him, and to feel that we are all hyper connected in the effort that we would be going on.
I think we're out of time, unfortunately. But I could talk to y'all about this forever. The conversation will continue, I'm sure. But thank you all so much. Thank you, Chinonye.
Thank you.
Danielle, Jalyn, and Keith. And please tell people to watch this so we could have the conversation, you know. And thank you all for coming out tonight.
Really,
Theaters
do.
everywhere.
It is. People's minds are changed when they talk
Yes.
to people who have seen this movie.
Yes.
So tell people that you saw this movie and how it made you feel when you came out. And hopefully it is the feeling of inspiration. So
It's not a movie, it's a moment.
Tell the kids too.
Yes, the kids.
Please do.
Thank you all
Thank
so much.
you so much.